After 1 p.m. Central African time. Now, South Africa's housing market continues to show renewed life as the October 2025 Better Bond Property Brief reveals rising confidence and stronger home loan activity. Following five consecutive interest rate cuts this year, the property sector has gained notable traction with the Better Bond Home Loan Application Index climbing from 11.6% quarter on quarter and 14.6% year on year. And Gauteng continues to lead in the loan volumes, while the Western Cape dominates residential building plans, accounting for 38% of the national total. To better explain this, what this actually means, the cuts of interest, will this make me eligible as a new home buyer to get into the property market when I don't have as much money as someone who's been working for a million years? We get into conversation with Joshua Friedman, BetterBond's regional manager. Joshua, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I want to talk specifically about the student accommodation and how that has become such a critical issue when it comes... Oh, no, rather, I apologize. You know, I get very excited sometimes, and I realize that I should ask Joshua about the cuts, the interest rate cuts. And I want to find out from you, Joshua, how likely it is that the interest rate cut in November will happen, and what are the main factors driving that possibility?
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us on today. So the signs are looking positive. The feedback we're getting from the banks is that it looks like we could get another interest rate cut, which I think if you had asked us at the beginning of the year, if we would get as many cuts as we have had, including one in November, I don't think we would have believed you. Would have thought it too good to be true. So the signs are positive, but it really does sit on the strengthening rand and inflation holding, which, as I say, as of now does look good, but anything can happen between now and November. So let's just hold thumbs that we do get a little bit more reprieve with another interest rate cut.
Let's talk about this rate a bit further, Joshua. So if the rate is cut again next month, how quickly do you expect to see the impact reflect on home loan applications and approvals?
So if you look, the first interest rate cut came in September last year. And if you look at our Better Bond Index, you can probably identify an increase in home loan applications, probably around 6 months later, coming into the second quarter. So yeah, I guess we should continue to see an improvement in the amount of home loan applications. But any effects we're seeing now are probably from the cuts that have already happened over the last 6 months. And hopefully we just continue to see the momentum building and more applications coming through over the next 6 months, an increase. So yeah, the outlook does look good.
Joshua, the report highlights a stronger rand and contained inflation. How are these factors supporting overall market stability and affordability, especially for first-time buyers?
So specifically for first-time buyers, we have seen some positive shifts. House prices for the segment are averaging a record high 1.3 million rand. On the back of the 5 repo rate cuts, as well as the 5% drop in year on year, the average deposit amount has also come down. So yeah, it all looks good. You know, a stronger rand does lower the cost of imported goods and helps to ease inflationary pressures. So with reduced inflation, interest rates, and consumer purchasing power trend to stabilize, this is all boosting confidence and encouraging spending.
26 minutes past 1 p.m. in Central African time. On the line with us is Joshua Friedman, BetterBond's regional manager, and we're really just unpacking this, property markets and looking at it from the lens of the economics space, as you and I see it here in South Africa. Joshua, the BetterBond Home Loan Application Index rose more than 14% year on year in the third quarter. What's behind this rebound in applications?
So that really does come down to the decreased interest rate. On the back of five interest rate cuts in September last year, that means more affordability for home buyers, lower repayments on their bond repayments, and that's, I think, been the primary stimulus in our increase in home loan applications.
Joshua, we had mentioned earlier that leading the charge is Gauteng and then parts of Western Cape. Are there other regions in South Africa that we haven't really paid attention to that are showing positive growth in this property space? Home loans, applications that we haven't really paid attention to.
If you look at our numbers, Gauteng, number one, does make up such a big component of South Africa's property market. So from a volumes point of view, specifically the amount of properties being sold, being purchased, Gauteng makes up such a big part, and we have seen a very strong uptick specifically there. Growth in other regions certainly hasn't been on the same level. Dare say some have even haven't had much growth, but I think if you just take the size of Gauteng in the property market, the uptick that's happened there has just pulled all the national numbers up.
I'm going to throw in what I would call a frequently asked question from the public. And of course, BetterBond, you're known for home loans, but are you seeing a particular interest in people wanting to purchase commercial property? You know, because I think perhaps that will give us an indication as to where we are just economically in general.
Sure. So we don't assist. Well, we can, but it's not our core business. Is commercial home loans, but certainly if you look at buy to rent, if you look at properties that are being purchased for rentals and specifically holiday letting, tourism is up, and tourism does boost the housing market through the increased demand for short-term rental properties that can be used for holiday accommodation. So this has created investment opportunities, and in popular tourist destinations, visitors become prospective buyers as they are drawn to the lifestyle that South Africa offers. So certainly we are seeing an uptick in that demand.
Joshua, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and for shining a light on this the property market, the home loan space, and showing us that it is indeed the ripe time to get into the property space and buy your first property. The interest rates are supporting it, and plenty of developments happening around South Africa, and we appreciate your time for shining a light on this afternoon.
Thank you for the opportunity.
The voice of Joshua Friedman, BetterBond's regional manager. Oh, those cuts coming in or potentially coming in November, it might just entice you to buy your first property. Maybe throughout the whole year you've been thinking, should I invest, should I not? It seems like the time to do so is now. It's 30 minutes after 1 p.m. Central African time. Let's get the latest in sports.
Sports on Channel Africa.